Hello, my beautiful angel. If you have the emotional solar plexus undefined in your human design chart, you are probably someone who is an empath, and you've probably been that way since you were a little girl. And you are also someone who absolutely hates and avoids confrontation at all costs. Even if it's just the Uber driver delivering you the wrong meal, you would rather eat the wrong meal than to tell them, "Excuse me, I didn't order this." And if you're not familiar with your human design chart, go ahead and pull one for free just by searching. Any chart will do. And today what we're looking at is the undefined emotional solar plexus. So look at the center here, and if you have it not colored in, that means you have an undefined or open emotional solar plexus, and this video is for you. My beautiful open emotional solar plexus girlies, I love you so much. I am also in the same boat as you, and let me tell you, learning about this placement in my human design chart explains so much. It explained why I was so hypersensitive to everyone around me. It explained why I was so attuned to people. It explained why I had developed so many coping mechanisms and self-sabotaging tendencies to try to survive by using my power of being attuned to other people and their needs and their expectations, and therefore eventually losing connection with myself and what I need. And so if you have this open emotional solar plexus, you probably are a little frustrated with yourself and you know that you feel deeply. You might even be someone like me who cries at commercials. Don't even get me started on movies, and don't even get me started on animal videos. We are just incapable of watching them without getting emotionally invested. Something super interesting I noticed about us compared to people who don't have this center undefined is that when we are witnessing, for example, in a movie, someone going through something hard, we put ourselves in that person's shoes literally. And I know that is the definition of an empath, so nothing groundbreaking here. But what I want you to know is that what I've noticed and observed in conversations with people who have the emotional solar plexus defined is that the way they speak about it is they view the world completely differently. So whereas we put ourselves in the positions of the person that is experiencing any kind of suffering or pain, the people who aren't undefined like us, they put themselves in the position of whatever's happening. And so you'll hear them use words like, "Oh my God, if that were me, oh my God, I can't believe it. I would be so blank if that were." But us with the undefined emotional solar plexus, we go, he must feel so scared. She must have been in so much pain. She must have been so sad. We literally put ourselves in the position of the other person. And so I want you to know that this ability is our superpower, okay? Any area that we have undefined in our human design chart, yes, it's a challenge because it's a blind spot. And so it's somewhere we don't have consistent access to, but it's also one of our greatest sources of wisdom. And so it can become a great gift in our lives if we do the appropriate work. And in this case, with the open emotional solar plexus, we become extremely emotionally intelligent. And yes, we probably already are to a certain extent because we're so emotionally attuned, because this open center makes us absorb the emotions of everyone around us and amplify them. That's why we do feel these things so deeply and why we could be moved by a commercial, even if it's not our period talking. You know what I'm saying? And so the way that we are meant to conquer this blind spot and make it become a strength, make it become one of our superpowers is actually really interesting. Because like I mentioned up front, the open emotional solar plexus people, we hate confrontation. This is because we anticipate the other person's emotions in response to our emotions, and then we anticipate our emotions in response to the person's emotions in response to our emotions. You see what a clusterfuck this is? And so we don't want to speak up. We really hesitate to share our truth, and we will avoid having a difficult conversation more than we avoid the dentist. And I hate going to the dentist. My husband has to force me to go to the dentist for insurance purposes. Otherwise, they're gonna like fine us. But anyway, so yes, open emotional solar plexus people, we avoid confrontation. We walk on eggshells. We don't want to say our truth. And this is bad. This is bad because first of all, we're frustrated with ourselves. We get resentful of other people because they don't know that what they're doing is bothering us, upsetting us, hurting us, not comfortable for us, not convenient for us, but we don't want to rock the boat, right? And so it's not good for our relationships because I feel like what can happen with us is we can actually either cut off relationships or blow up over something small just because we're so frustrated at that point because there's been so many things that we have been bulldozing over. And I actually think this is a broader problem for women, especially high achieving women. We are taught to bulldoze over all the birdies. It's definitely stormy. It's getting stormy. Um, I came here hoping for a beautiful sunset for this video, and instead I got this storminess. But yeah, that's emotions, right? Emotions are volatile, and emotions are unpredictable, and yeah, and the moon impacts emotions. Anyway, so we hate confrontation, right? And so this really sucks. And it's also extremely uncomfortable and stressful. I don't want to like negate that. It really is stressful. Even when we do muster up the courage to speak up and say something, it's really stressful. And this also happens at work. Okay, this happens at work where we hesitate to speak our minds or push back, especially as high achieving women. And so we become yes women. And for a lot of energetic types, that's just not going to work. It's going to completely deplete you and drain you and turn off your energy source and make you completely burnt out, tired, exhausted, resentful, etc., etc., etc. But like I was saying before, we are taught as high achieving women to bulldoze over our own emotions, our own needs, our own desires. And so the whole thing is exacerbated by society and what I believe is the matrix, right? The things that keep us trapped and enslaved, not our fullest health, happiness, or potential or success. And so, my beautiful, open, emotional solar plexus girly, I invite you, first of all, to start noticing when you are carrying emotions that aren't yours, because this is so natural to us. I'm on the beach here. I am picking up emotions from all these people around me. And quite frankly, it's a little bit distracting. And so I want you to notice when you are, when sometimes you're like mad, but you don't know why you're mad. You might have picked up someone else's anger. So stop being a detective, just let it go. And you can do that by grounding yourself. You can go to the beach. You can put your hands on the sand. You can go touch some grass. You can ground yourself in yoga, some stretching. You can literally just lie on the ground, put a timer on, even for 5 minutes. Honestly, stare at the wall. This is a challenge I want to do inside my goddess temple because we're not staring at the wall enough. We're constantly distracting ourselves to escape emotions, to escape discomfort, etc. But yeah, I want you to ground yourself and notice also shaking, dancing. Like Taylor Swift said, shake it off. Dancing is incredible for shaking off emotions, stress, and getting back into your body, especially as a woman. I cannot recommend dance enough. I recently started belly dancing for the first time in my life, and I am addicted. Okay, so there's so many YouTube videos. You can pop one on after this video, of course, and dance for 5 minutes or just blast your favorite song. Go into your car and blast your favorite song and get some Starbies. Whatever you have to do, ground yourself, okay? That is a way to make sure that open emotional solar plexus, that energetic blind spot, doesn't derail you, derail your day, okay? Another thing I want you to do, there's only one more, so don't worry, it's not hard. The second thing I want you to do is I want you to start having difficult conversations. I want you to start not biting your tongue, but opening and moving your mouth. Okay, when you feel that intuitive nudge to speak up, when you feel that something's not right, when you feel like you don't want something, when you feel like you would rather do something else, I invite you to speak up. If someone gets something wrong, if someone makes a mistake, if one of the people you manage makes a mistake, like I want you to start speaking up. This is going to take courage. If your hair girl messes up your hair, if your nail girl messes up your nails, I want you to start speaking up. I know this is really hard for us, and I really am empathetic to that because I can't tell you how much I used to spiral and stress over this as well. And I'm still working on it. I'm still working on it. If you saw my series where I talked about the different profile lines according to your human design chart, I have a 4 line. That's all about heart connection. And so I'm always, trying to preserve the connection, even at the expense of my own needs and desires sometimes. And that's not good. And what I can tell you is ever since I have started speaking up, in small ways and big ways, what I've learned is that the people who love me are grateful that I spoke up. Or if I'm giving advice and I'm more honest, those people are also grateful. Okay. And I so far have not actually had anyone be butthurt or blow up or, okay, maybe one person. I've had one person reject me and be really cruel to me in response to my truth. But you know what? I didn't feel bad. I actually felt relief because I was like, wow, I'm glad I learned this about this person now. And even though it was sad and it was a 7-year friendship, I was like, listen, I shared my truth. This must be her truth. And so it is what it is. And I promise you, every time you speak up, you strengthen that muscle. So that energetic blind spot that is making you hesitate, making you stress and spiral over speaking up, she lessens the hold. And that's why I kind of compare it to the Matrix. The Matrix has a lesser hold on you every time you do speak up and use your voice. And we need women using their voices. We need women speaking their truths. If you want one final inspiration I'm going to share here that I wasn't expecting to share, it's I want you to think of your female ancestors. I want you to think about the women in your bloodline who literally could not speak up, who literally did not have a voice, who literally no one would listen to or who would be punished for speaking up. If you have a European background like me, I want you to think about the witches who were burnt at the stake, or even if you don't have a genetic, um, hereditary relation to the witches, like all of us women, I believe, carry a little bit of that witch's wound, especially if you have a 5-line. Check out my 5-line video if you have a 5-line for sure. But anyway, I want you to think about your ancestors who maybe could not say, I want this, I don't want that. When you do this, I don't like it. They could not say those things. They were either punished, maybe it was domestic violence, maybe they were rejected from the tribe, which meant death. I want you to use your voice. It's our power as women. And you, my beautiful, open, emotional solar plexus, baddie, girly angel, you have so much emotional intelligence and so much love to give, and you have so much respect and reverence for other people's emotions. I want you to start honoring your own emotions. I want you to have reverence for your truth, and I want you to start sharing it. Every time you share it, it gets easier. And every time you share it, you get data on who deserves to hear your truth. And every time you share your truth, you speak up, I swear you are, first of all, making your ancestors dance a happy dance. And also the women around you seeing you and witnessing you, you are giving them a big fat permission slip to also speak up, to also use their voice, and to not avoid confrontation, to not avoid difficult conversations, to not avoid their truth. You're helping all the women around you, your friends, your family, your colleagues, the people you manage, the people that manage you. If you have a business, your entire company, your customers. We have so much more impact than we realize. And it really just takes that courage. And I hope this video has given you, planted that powerful seed. The next time a situation arises, I hope you think of me and you think, Anna told me to speak up and I'm going to speak my truth today. And if it blows up, I'm going to go back to Anna's comments and yell at her and tell her, your advice was shit, okay? I invite you to do that. Speaking of that, if you have any questions, go ahead and drop those in the comments. I love answering your questions. No question is dumb. No question is bad. Even challenging questions are amazing. I welcome everything. I want you to speak your truth, and I want you to get the insights that you need. And if you want deeper insights, more personalized attention from me, my goddess codes are 90-minute sessions where it's just me and you and your human design chart and your astrology chart. And I am decoding everything for you and giving you all the facts on who you are, what you're here to do, how you're meant to do it, what your energetic blind spots are, how you can overcome them and make them your greatest gifts, and how you can reach your goals in the most beautiful, delicious way possible. Because you deserve that. Everything your ancestors went through deserve you to now live this beautiful, fulfilled, self-actualized, easier, more abundant, more beautiful life. And that's what I want for you. So if you want to do a deep dive on your cosmic blueprint, I invite you to book a goddess code session. I'll drop the link below, and I can't wait to see you in another video.